What is your heritage, my friend?
English.
English? Well, how'd you get those seats? We need you people for the muffins. I'll tell you this. Are you married? I love you guys when you make love. Want to take a pop at it, Mary? Got to be like the Jews. Circle a bed and get an estimate.
For 55 years, Don Rickles has been comedy's ruthless master of the insult. And as you are about to see, he is not mellowing with age. Please welcome back Don Rickles. I'm happy to see you. Come sit next to me.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, right here, Don.
That's it for me. Watch the chair. Watch the chair. It's going back.
Oh, okay.
There we are.
I feel like I'm in a clinic.
You are.
Watch
You
the
and I
chair.
have known, I've known you my whole life.
Practically.
You knew my dad, my daddy.
And the Latin
Quarter. Yeah, it's so good to see you.
Remember the Latin Quarter? Funny,
this going to be an insult? Okay.
No. I'm not here. For the money I'm getting, there's no insult.
That is the insult, yeah.
Get up at dawn to get $4 and a picture of joy. Good to see you, Whoopi.
Good to see you, sir.
We've had good times together.
We have.
Elizabeth, I don't know, but I hope your husband gets a chance to be a starting quarterback. No, Tim has been on every team, but he never gets in the game. He sits with that helmet going. Well, I know Elizabeth. Shut up. Just sit over there. Anyway.
I think of Jay Leno now having 5 nights a week. Would you like that?
I don't really care. No, Jay Leno's a big talent. I think it's a tough haul for him, but he's very talented. He's got a lot of good writers, and I think he'll make it. He's got to give it a shot, so we'll see what happens.
So listen, Mr. Warmth, you won 2 Emmys this year for your HBO documentary.
That's right. I'm too big
Mr.
for this show.
You're too big for this show. You willingly say you're 82 years old. You've been in show business for 55 years. How did it feel to get an Emmy?
I tell you, I regret that my mother, rest her soul, wasn't around to see it because she was my driving force. And to get an Emmy at this stage of the career, you know, all the guys that I know, you know, when you hang around comedians, you never think of Emmys and what have you. So when it happened to me, so many memories came back of the rough days, and the people that helped me to get that far, to get an Emmy, like Frank Sinatra and Johnny Carson, they were very influential in my career.
Anybody in the mob ever help you?
They're all dead. What is it with you with the mob?
I don't know. I'm interested in that topic.
I got a family and grandchildren. All of a sudden, I'm going to get kidnapped notes for fun.
Your mother's name was Etta.
Right. What are you, a cop?
I'm a cop. But listen, so what did she think of your act? You know, because you took
my mother, you know, oddly enough, Joy, you would say that, my mother was American born and very, 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 very smart. And she always wanted to live through me. You know, she would get up and do Sophie Tucker. A lot of you young people don't know, but she'd get up and say, some of these days. And I would do that in my act. And I did it like I just did for you and got that kind of response. Especially the front row, the women going, where are we? What's happening? Anyway. No, this is great. What is this, a gym? There's no men here.
No. There's 2 there, 1 there.
Mr. Rickles,
yes.
you know, for so many years, you have you talked about every ethnic group that exists. Now, have you ever gotten in trouble for doing that?
Well, hey, in my beginnings, when you're different in this business, you have a chance. I always believe that. I say that to many young people. If they, I'm not a guy that gives advice, but I do say if they want to get someplace, to be different. And so I've never been mean-spirited. And everything I do from my heart. And to prove it, after 55 years and still headlining around the country, thank God, and people show up to see me. And the younger group, now more than ever, have come to see me. So it proves that if you do something and you do it with taste and fun, it's fun.
Have you ever gone too far? I'm sorry. That's okay.
No, when you say, have I ever gone too far? Everything I do, and I think Joy, as a comedian, will agree, and Whoopi also, everything you do, you got to believe in. In other words, I've never thrown what I call my best punch, a remark I make, and I never took it back and regretted it, because you got to believe when you say it, you got to believe it's funny.
Nobody wanted to punch you in the mouth?
Why, are you looking for somebody to hurt me?
Can I best
I love when they
friend?
say that. No, oh, there was a guy in Montreal, funny you say, a guy in Montreal, and a wise guy, and he's sitting there with the cigar and this young girl. And I say, is that the wife? And he said, yes. Who's? Who? Look at this girl. Oh, get a gun, shoot it, do something. Anyway, and people laughed, and the guy went, They all do that. Frank's friends always went, hey, yeah. That meant you could be hurt in the morning. Anyway, that's why anytime when I was with Frank, I always wanted to be, I knew I'd be on Jerry Lewis's telephone anytime, you know. Walk on, walk on. Anyway. Oh.
So what did the guy do to you?
So the guy came back saying, you know, sweetheart, I might have to hurt you. I didn't think that was funny, a moose. I don't get the humor in that. I don't get the humor. So I go to the phone, and my manager at the time was a fellow Italian gentleman who's gone now. And I call him up on the phone. I said, Joe, the guy's going to hurt me. What do I do? He said, don't worry, sweetheart. Just relax. I hung up, dissolve. Okay. Next night, the guy comes in again. Comes backstage and say, son of a bitch, she is a moose.
What, Scandori got to him?
Well, you're smart. You're so smart.
Because I watched you. I know Joe Scandori was your manager. What did he say to him, do you think?
I don't care what he said.
Something.
No, he's still with us. He's still with us.
I want to ask you, why do you think there was such a chemistry with Carson? Because you don't have that chemistry with anyone else, that same kind of chemistry.
Well, I must say Letterman is pretty good to me, and Jay is a different type of guy. He's funny, but Johnny had a way when the notes came up, Whoopi, in other words, if we said we're going to talk about his house or something, all these notes as you have on every show,
right.
And I'd come out and sit down, and he'd say, how's your mother? And I'd say, you never liked my mother. Why are you bringing that up? And all of a sudden, we had 15 minutes of talking about why I don't like my mother. You know? And it always turned out funny. He always left spaces to make you look good. He'd set you up, boom. And when his chance came, he came up with a good banger. You know, so it was fun to be with him. It really was.
When was the first time you knew you were funny? Like, were you like this as a kid?
Well, yeah. My mother, again, always said, get up at the temple dances and synagogue affairs and the thing up in Forest Hills, the day I come from Queens, and had these different dances, and I'd get up for like fun. Hold it down, huh? I said I come from Queens, and one guy in the back row went, hey.
But Don, were you always insulting? Because you're the only one who does that like that.
Well, Bob, I don't like to use the word insulting.
Okay.
What I do is I exaggerate. I take situations and exaggerate them and make them funny.
So did the woman look like a moose? Was she?
You're starting to get on my nerves.
Before she gets on your nerves, Don has written a very funny book of letters that he wished he had written and some he did write, and we're going to come back and hear about them. Some of them were about us. We'll be right back with Don Rickles.
Don, how do you keep the romance alive in your marriage? You know, I've been with Steve 26 years. You have to work at it.
You were married 43
I'm married 43, yeah.
to Barbara.
Jewelry.
Jewelry.
No, hey, you know, they always say actors, they get divorced, they have so many problems. I've been blessed with my wife and I for 43 years because we have a friendship that developed into a, you know, here we are, two different people completely. She's a very unassuming and, you know, she's a Valium. And,
Human sick and all.
you know, I could go crazy with a show and say, that was a great show. And she'd say, listen, just relax. And we're going to go to dinner. Just relax. I'm exaggerating that because if she sees this on camera, she'll say, is that funny?
Does she mind that you talk about her in the show?
Well, she's got a big house in Simone. What are you kidding? If we lived in Hollywood in a box, she'd mind. But meanwhile, we're doing pretty good.
Mr.
And this is the big shot for me.
Now, we wanted to talk about your book, which is the Rickles letters, and it's a compilation of letters that you wish you sent to people, including a letter that you wrote to Barbara and Whoopi and the ladies of The View. What did you say to Barbara?
Read the book.
Is there something you wish you would have said to Barbara if you had written her a
To
letter?
Whoopi or to all of us?
No, I see the whole thing is done in jest. It's a letter that I certainly in real life, as I call it. This is all in fun for me. And so what I said to Whoopi are things that I know about her, or things I know about you, and exaggerate them and just put them in the letter, and hopefully you'll all read them and enjoy them. But they're all fictitious stuff, and I find it funny. Some of it is based on truth, but, you're not in there, so don't search.
I know. What are you searching for me?
She's sitting there like this going, where the
I'm
hell
trying to
am I?
find. I'm
Where
trying.
the hell am I? God, I'm a big star. This bum didn't put me in there.
You know what I was doing? I was trying to find something funny.
Have you enjoyed ever? John?
And Star Jones, I thought was gone.
We love Star Jones. We have nothing but peace in our mind for anybody who is on this show.
I was just going to say, we sit here laughing with you, but our kids also know you as Mr. Potato Head from Toy Story, and we have a clip that is so cute. I want to show everyone. Take a look.
Hey, Ham, look, I'm Picasso.
Yeah, I don't get it.
You uncultured swine. What are you looking at, you hockey puck?
I love it. I love it.
They say clips are so expensive, I want to get more, I think.
That's
Do you like
enough.
being known as Mr. Potato Head?
Bobby?
Do you enjoy being known as the Potato Head?
Oh, sure. Especially with my grandkids. They say, Pop-Pop's Mr. Potato Head. And it's fun, they're 9 and 7, and they know that someday, being Mr. Potato Head, they'll come into some money.
Very smart.
What do you have?
By the first wife, 7. No, I have 2 children.
2 children.
Two grown children and 2 grandchildren. And 1 in the Philippines.
I just have to say this. There are comedians who just repeat the same. No mind is as fresh as yours. I just think that's terrific. Are you with us?
I'm with it. Look, to me, this is an icon. For me to be
bet.
anywhere, this is an icon.
Yes, you bet.
Thank you so much. Rickles Letters is in stores now, and you are all taking home a copy. And we'll be